South Africa is a country rich in natural resources, from its vast mineral wealth to its stunning landscapes. But despite this abundance, one critical resource has proven elusive: electricity. Over the past decade, South Africa has been plagued by electricity problems, from rolling blackouts to skyrocketing energy costs. At the center of this crisis is Eskom, the state-owned electricity company responsible for generating and distributing power to millions of South Africans. In this video, we'll take a closer look at what went wrong with Eskom and the South African electricity system, exploring the key factors that have contributed to the current crisis, and the potential solutions that could help get the country back on track. From political corruption to aging infrastructure to environmental challenges, there are many complex factors at play. So join us as we dive into this critical issue, and explore what it will take to ensure a reliable and sustainable electricity supply for all South Africans. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video to stay up to date with our latest content. By what caused problems? Financial mismanagement. Eskom has debt of over $450 billion, $31 billion United States dollars, as of 2021, making it one of the most heavily indebted state-owned companies in the world. Aging infrastructure. Eskom's power plants are on average over 37 years old, and the company has reported a maintenance backlog of over $60 billion, $4.1 billion United States dollars, as of 2020. Reliance on coal. In 2019, coal accounted for over 88% of South Africa's electricity generation, while renewables accounted for just 5.6%. According to South African Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. Political interference. Eskom has been plagued by political interference and corruption scandals. In 2019, the company's former CEO and several other executives were charged with fraud, corruption, and money laundering. Environmental challenges. South Africa has some of the highest levels of air pollution in the world, with power generation being a major contributor. In 2020, Eskom was responsible for over 35% of South Africa's total greenhouse gas emissions. According to Eskom Integrated Report 2020. Effects of load shedding. Economic impact. Load shedding has been estimated to cost the South African economy between $1 billion and $5 billion, $68 million to $340 million United States dollars per day. According to Business Tech. Business disruptions. A survey conducted by the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry found that load shedding in 2019 caused 38% of businesses to lose sales, 36% to lose production, and 24% to lose staff, said FIN24. Inconvenience for residents. In a survey conducted by Statistics South Africa, 32% of respondents reported that load shedding had caused them to change their daily routines, while 24% reported that it had disrupted their work, said Statistics South Africa. Increased crime. In 2019, South African Police Service reported a 9.9% increase in non-residential burglaries during periods of load shedding. According to South African Police Service. Damage to appliances. The South African Insurance Association reported a 30% increase in claims for damaged appliances during the first quarter of 2019, which was attributed to load shedding. Source: South African Insurance Association. How can this be fixed? Fixing the electricity problems in South Africa will require a comprehensive approach that addresses various issues in the electricity sector. Here are some possible solutions. Increase electricity generation capacity. One of the main causes of electricity shortages in South Africa is the limited generation capacity. To address this, the government could invest in new power plants or alternative energy sources, such as wind, solar, and hydroelectric power. Improve maintenance and infrastructure. Eskom, the state-owned electricity supplier in South Africa, has faced challenges with maintaining and upgrading its aging infrastructure. Improving maintenance and investing in modern infrastructure could help reduce the frequency and duration of power outages. Implement demand-side management. Demand-side management involves managing electricity demand by encouraging consumers to use electricity during off-peak hours, using energy-efficient appliances, and reducing electricity consumption during peak periods. This approach could help reduce the strain on the electricity grid and minimize the need for load shedding. Increase transparency and accountability. Eskom has faced criticism for its lack of transparency and accountability. Increasing transparency and accountability in the management of Eskom could help build trust and confidence among stakeholders and ensure that decisions are made in the best interest of the public. Encourage private sector participation. The South African government could encourage private sector participation in the electricity sector, including the construction and operation of new power plants, transmission lines, and other infrastructure. This could help diversify the electricity supply and promote competition, which could lead to more affordable and reliable electricity. Implementing these solutions will require significant investments, political will, and cooperation among various stakeholders. However, taking action to address the electricity problems in South Africa could have significant benefits for the country's economy, businesses, and residents. What if it is not fixed? The potential consequences of continued electricity problems in South Africa. Economic downturn. According to a study by the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry, load shedding in 2019 resulted in an estimated loss of R6 billion, about United States dollars 400 million, per stage per day of power cuts. The study also found that small and medium-sized businesses were hit the hardest, with some reporting losses of up to 50% of their revenue during load shedding periods. Social unrest. In 2020, South Africa experienced some of the most violent protests in years, which were in part fueled by frustration over electricity shortages and the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Institute for Security Studies, there were over 200 incidents of public violence and looting in July 2020 alone. Health and safety risks. A report by the National Council of Provinces in South Africa found that load shedding could have serious health implications, especially for vulnerable populations such as the elderly and those with chronic medical conditions. The report also noted that power cuts could lead to increased crime and reduce public safety. Environmental impacts. According to Eskom, coal accounts for more than 90% of South Africa's electricity generation. The continued use of coal-fired power plants could have significant environmental impacts, including air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. As we come to the end of this video, I hope you have gained valuable insights into the challenges facing the South African electricity system and the potential consequences of ongoing electricity problems. While the situation is complex and multifaceted, it is clear that action is needed to ensure reliable and affordable electricity